New York City, the city that never sleeps. No matter what time it is, there are people using transportation to travel through the city. New York has one of the most famous public transportation systems. But have you ever wondered how it affects the environment? Hey, I'm Ellie the Elephant, and let's talk about that. Most vehicles emit a greenhouse gas called CO2, better known as carbon dioxide. CO2 contributes to the greenhouse effect, which is when greenhouse gases like CO2 trap heat, causing higher global temperatures. Global warming has several adverse effects, including rising sea level, loss of biodiversity, drought, and more. Since transportation emits hundreds of thousands of metric tons of CO2 annually, it's important for us to be conscious of CO2 emissions when traveling in order to make an effort to slow global warming and protect our planet. In New York alone, there are 2,077,000 cars. 158,000 of these are electric, so they don't emit CO2. 2,077,000 minus 158,000 electric cars is 1,919,000 cars contributing to the carbon emissions. In total, that's about 8,827,400 metric tons of CO2 annually. To put in perspective, an African elephant weighs 6.8 tons. 8,827,400 metric tons divided by 6.8 is about 1,298,147 African elephants. Assuming one person rides in a car, that's 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide per person per year. Another mode of transportation that's popular in New York City is the bus, which emit about 669,198 metric tons of CO2 per year and have a daily ridership of 1,200,000 people. Dividing that by 6.8 metric tons per African elephant results in 98,411 African elephants worth of CO2. But with an annual ridership of around 438 billion, the average amount of CO2 released per year per person is only 0.0015 metric tons, which is lower than cars. And last but not least, the New York City subway, which emits about 645,789 metric tons of CO2 annually. When dividing annual CO2 emissions by the average weight of an African elephant, that's about 94,968 African elephants. Now, the subway has an annual ridership of 876 million. So when we divide the total metric tons of CO2 emitted annually by annual ridership, we actually only get 0.00074 metric tons emitted per year by a single person on the subway. Now that we know that there is such a big difference between the amount of carbon released from cars, subways, and buses, it's important to remember to utilize our mass transportation systems, especially in New York City, where it's so convenient to get from place to place. We want to reduce our carbon footprints and help our planet. So, thank you for watching.